Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create a video just like this one. So let's get going. But first of all, I need to show you what I'm talking about. So this is the video that we're going to attempt to create something similar to. See if I can access this full screen because I have to go at the beginning. Now, this might shock you. At the beginning of the video might shock you, but this should come as no shock. It's a hook. It's a strategy for them to get people involved, to get people to watch. And so far, their strategy worked because in just 2 days, they've managed to get 5 million views thanks to that hook. Let's preview. So that is a very successful hook, making it seem like the lady is screaming like a psycho, right? And that kind of worked because when I checked the comments, a bunch of people were commenting about that, and that's what actually got them to even watch in the first place. The video itself is very basic, but the technique that was used to create this is not something that everybody knows about. I'm pretty sure they have used Google VO3 to create this video, which is why I'm also going to use Google VO3 for this. But as you can see, this is some fantastic stuff. So they're kind of slowly but surely showing the evolution of the car. But I just want to check. I just want to see. This video is very long, actually. It's 2 minutes. All right. So, which tells me that they've managed to potentially get paid a decent amount because when shorts are bigger, usually you will get paid more. But the technique itself as to how this video was done should not be very complex. Now, one thing here, this channel has 57,000 subscribers, and most of their recent videos are nothing short of successes. For instance, this one, 50 million views, that's $5,000 in the pocket. And just the week before that, they didn't get that much success. And they didn't start posting shorts until pretty recently. So in their first 12 shorts, they managed to get crazy views, very close to 70 million views or 60 million views in total. And from these this small number of videos, 12 videos. And I guess that before that, they were kind of publishing long form content that kind of probably didn't work. As far as I can tell here, it didn't work. So they were kind of posting kind of weird content. Right. But now they kind of found their, should I say, their oil. So from this niche, I think they could be making a bunch of money for a while, unless YouTube discovers it and maybe starts giving them less views. But as you can see, these are very successful. So we're going to try to attempt to do something similar. Without further ado, let's jump straight to it. First thing is first, we're going to go and use Google Gemini. Now, inside of Google Gemini, I'm going to ask it the question, can you give me the evolution of the Pagani, not Pagani, actually, let's go for something else, Lamborghini car, from the beginning to now, right? So it should actually give me like a map in chronological order that's kind of showing pretty much the first Lambo until now. And the most important thing is to get those so that we create images. It's also important that we must remain consistent when it comes to the images. My idea is different. So instead of showcasing the car inside a city, I'm going to show a car on a runway. And the runway should be pretty much a wild runway in the US, in a let's just say in the wild. Okay. So here the Genesis, okay. So these are all the, seems like these are all the cars. I'm going to say I want a pretty much an elaborate, detailed evolution that goes through the brands from 1963 to now. Let's take Aventador. We need to do, or I need to know all the past cars or all the past versions of it, since the name is the same, Lamborghini Aventador, but they kind of every time, every couple of years, there's a new model. I don't know how it works for them, but for most cars, every couple of years there's a model. Sometimes every year there's a model for some cars that are low manufacturing cost. The founding era, the anti-Ferrari GT. Okay, this might sound like a documentary, but it's actually very important for us to do this because then I shall ask Gemini to start generating images of these cars. All right, so the summary of the evolution. All right, the brands. Come on, this is not how I want this to be. The hybrid era, the carbon era. Okay, you know what I'm gonna say? You know what? For each car or for each model, I'm going to require you to generate an image for. The idea is to show the car from a, I would say, side view way. Side view way. The car is on an empty runway, and the background is American Canyon land. It's very sunny and hot, and it must look realistic at 9 by 16 inches, starting with the first car, which is this one, the founding era, blah, blah, blah. Go generate the image. Now, I'm just going to let it generate the image. All right, actually, this is good, but it doesn't show the very detail. So I'm going to go back here, and instead of side view way, show the car driving on the runway, instead of just saying empty runway, because I guess that when I said the car side view on a runway, it guessed that the car is not on, so it's not, the motor is not running. But what I actually want is I actually want animation of the car seemingly driving on the runway. And the way I pictured it is that the environment is canyon like environment. This one is great, though I don't like that it's very far away. So in this case, now I'm going to say, can you try to, do you know what? In order not to botch this, I'm just going to leave it like this. But now I'm going to say, and I'm going to go to the second one, or the one that follows, the flagship V12 bloodline. Then we have the Genesis Mur. Okay, the Genesis Muria. This is the first. Okay, so I'm going to say now, in a similar setup generate the following frame for um, the environment is the same, but make it look like the car is moving fast. The mountains and the canyon must change from time to time. So the reason why is because I don't want this exact same mountain shape to be on the next picture. Okay, I want it to be different so that when I try to do that trick of the starting frame, ending frame, that it looks like uh, the car is moving. Now, if they get this one right, then the rest of the stuff should be easy. Shouldn't be. Yep, this is good. I like it. So this is good. But first, before we lose all of our images, I'm gonna have to go and create a folder on Canva that I'm going to start. It's a project, a 9 by 16 project. And of course, inside of this folder, I'm simply going to place the images, starting with this one. All right, let's just repeat again, this one. And then basically, I'm just going to go and make sure I make it bigger. I can zoom in a bit on the car right now. As far as the quality is concerned, I think it's not a bad quality. It's a pretty good quality, and it looks like the car is pretty much on the road. So that's good. This one is the second. So this is going to be the first, second frame. And then what we're going to do is we're simply going to keep moving. So the next one in line should be what? It should be the alien Countach. So I'm going to say now, generate a similar style one for as a follow-up to the previous image or to the previous frame or however you'd like to style it. Okay. The bottom line is to get frames. I'm actually going to pause at the 5th frame because there's a bunch of techniques that I need to teach you in this course. And we've already done more exercises where went deep, and we basically went over all detail, which was more than enough, in my opinion, to allow you to be able to do whatever you want with AI. I think that after taking this course, if you dedicated, I think that you'd have the knowledge, all the knowledge that I have. You would have successfully copied the knowledge that I have, everything. So now the next one in line is, what is it? It's the Speed King, the Diablo. And we're capitalizing on Google Gemini's vast library of images and and assets. That's what makes it easy for Gemini to create these images just based on mentioning the names. Trust me that it would be 10 times more difficult if you want to achieve this using ChatGPT, because ChatGPT doesn't have the library that Gemini has. And so if you ask ChatGPT to generate an image of the Speed King Diablo 1990 2001, yeah, it might do a good job, but I doubt it, because ChatGPT is linked to Bing, a very small search engine, but Google Gemini is linked to Google, which is responsible for 80+% of all the search volume and all the information out there on the internet is Google. So yeah, I guess it's pretty difficult for ChatGPT to compete for the long term. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to be able to continue to exist. All right, so here, let's move on to this one. So this one is the Modern Beast Morciaglo, or whatever that is. And of course, so I said I should stop at the 5th. Well, yes, I should stop at the 5th. And it's not because I should, but it's because I'm just trying to show you the technique, okay? I'm not going to go and do this for all the brands. Okay, I just want to show you how you can do that kind of crazy animation where you make it move from frame to frame and make it look like the car as it is walking through the on the runway. It's evolving into the now recent versions of itself. Okay, and we want to achieve that using AI. Now it's imperative that the environment must stay not exactly the same, but it should be, when I say not exactly the same, it shouldn't be that this mountain repeats itself in all the other ones, because otherwise the animation is not going to look like there is a movement. Okay, in order to achieve movement, these mountains shapes need to change. Okay, as well as the road itself. Let me check if the road is, yeah, the road looks different. And I like the fact that on this one, it doesn't look like the car is moving, but on this one, it looks like the car is racing. You can see that. So it's better to make the first frame one where the car is not moving, but the other ones must look like the car is moving. All right. So now this one is, you know, I would take this one. This one is what 2001 to 2010. To be honest, I'd be happy with this one. You know, I don't really need the 2025 ones. They're packed with technology anyways, and they make the car boring. I'd like this one. I'm pretty sure it's fully automatic and it's fully loaded, but the recent ones they will have some very you know incredible technology, but I don't care about that. You know, so now these, let's just say Lamborghini evolution. All right. So is that what we're going to call this file? Yes. All right. So now once you have the file, you can download this. And now next, I need to do the old thing of extracting those images. Now, first of all, I'm going to create a folder. And inside this folder, I'm going to extract all the images from my previous folder. Okay, so I'm just showing you kind of my process, even though this is kind of not really necessary. But for those that want to know how I work, this is how. And I'm just going to create a folder for images. Images is where I'm just going to put the images. It's pretty straightforward. And I'm images into this file. Okay. Now, as far as the videos, I'm going to put them in a file that I'm going to call the B-roll folder. And let me access this images file. First, let me just go and click view as extra large icons. That's that. Perfect. All right. So right now, we're ready to go to the next step. All right, so the next step is to use Google VO3. Now, usually I'd use Google VO3 in labs.google or pretty much in Leonardo. But since I have a bunch of credits in 11 labs that I rarely ever use, I'm going to have to make good use for them. And to be able to find good use for them, I can just simply use the image and video option here inside of Leonardo. And I have a bunch of credits that I can use. I can actually generate 116 videos using VO3, but it's just that I want the 9:16 version of VO3. 4 seconds per image seems to be pretty low. I might try 6 seconds instead. Yes, I think that 6 seconds is better. And this requires a starting and an ending frame. Let me see if going full HD does anything. It doesn't really do anything there. It seems like it doesn't affect the credits. And I want sound. So actually when you add the sound, it kind of affects the tokens that you'll consume. But in any case, I don't have a problem. So let's see if I put 2 here. All right, still 51. And it's going to give me 2 versions. So let's just click on the starting frame here. And basically, my starting frame will be the first Lamborghini picture. Now, if I view this on extra large icons, this will help you understand this better. So this is going to be my starting frame. And my ending frame will be the second image. And so the second image is where I show the other car. So I'm going to call this evolution of a car through the years. And I'm going to say evolutions of a loud diesel car through the years on the runway. And I'm not going to mention Lamborghini. The reason is because I know that this tool here, 11 Labs, they're kind of very restrictive. Okay, so they kind of don't really. They're afraid of pretty much anything. Now, I found it particularly difficult to do the simplest of animations with this tool, and the reason is because of one thing, which is that they're afraid. That's all. But sometimes I manage to get some pretty decent animations, like this one, for example, a clash between Whitebeard and Shanks. All right, so as you can see, image and video. It doesn't take that much time usually for VO3, about a minute most or max. And I'm going to assess the quality of the video. And if it's good, then I shall just use this prompt for the rest of them. Now, it actually didn't take one token. It took two tokens because I think that because I'm using the two generations that it's taking two tokens. Should have paid attention, but that should give us a bunch of data to assess our prompt. Now, can you do this with another tool? Yes. I mean, you can use KLING AI and make it and do cheaper animations, but you have to realize that KLING generates videos with no sound. Okay, there is no sound to them, so you just gotta pay attention to that. All right, so this prompt is not so bad. As you can, it's kind of slow. Let me just repeat the video. And actually, instead of saying evolution, I'm gonna say something different, which is the car mechanically transformed. This one is better, but I think I could do a better job. Okay. Now I'll download this one, but I think I can do a better job for the next ones. So for the next one, I will be using my starting frame will be the second image, and my ending frame will be the third image. And I'll take this prompt right here, but I'll say evolution of the loud diesel. Instead of evolution, I'm going to say mechanical transformation of a loud diesel car on the runway. And, I could say add mechanical transformation sound effects. And I'll put this between brackets or between, brackets, yes, just so that I can make sure that that sound appears. I might also try one more thing here. Let me try to do this. So if I take Grok, now Grok only creates a 5-second clip, okay? But you can do some crazy stuff with Grok, okay? So, for example, if you take this image, now, first of all, I'll have to be in the Imagine section of Grok. And here, you can take, for example, this particular image right here, and then you can add some transformations. But they are not going to be consistent, just for fun. In the meantime, I hope that they add the starting ending frame. But here you can say car transforms into the Lamborghini Aventador. And you can say fast car transforms into the Lamborghini Aventador. I'll leave it cooking there for a second and come back over here. Now, again, as I said, it's quite fast. This is a good video as a starter for the video. And the sound is quite nice as well. right? That's good. It's really nice to see. I think that Grok should have already finished the video because it usually takes less time. Let's test it. Let's see the potential of this tool. Here it is. It actually did transform into the Lamborghini Aventador. As you can see, it's just that it just needs the starting ending frame. I just sure hope that they add it. But I mean, yeah, it's pretty fine. Now over here, this is the second footage. Yes, this is what I'm looking for. Mechanically transforms. So when you say mechanically transforms or mechanical transformation, that is going to enable you to get the exact type of video that you will want. So let's assess this video here. We need to assess it. This is the type of transformation. You can see how cool that is. Now I can take the exact same prompt by clicking it. It applies itself here. You can use VO3 whatever. You can use VO3 in labs.google. You can use VO3 in DeepMind. You can use VO3 in the open in Leonardo AI. You can use it in OpenArt. You can use VO3 whatever. It's just that here, as I said, I know I'm not going to use these Leonardo credits, so I just better put them to use here, and that's what I'm doing. Don't get me wrong, it's quite expensive to generate videos using VO3 as of now, but you don't have a choice. If you want to make these videos like this, then this is how you should do this. At the same time, know one thing, which is that I've just shown you a case of a YouTube channel that got 50 million views with one video of this quality. So if you can get just 50, 20% of that, I mean, that would be like 10 million, and 10 million is a pretty handsome amount of money. So even if you're spending $10 to make the video, that's still a pretty huge investment. It's actually, it's a small investment, a big return on investment. Okay, so now, of course, now to sum this up, what you need to do next is to just put the videos in the B-roll folder. You go to CapCut, you put them together, and you export your project as a 9x16. We've done this for multiple videos for you to already know how the process works. Should you put music? Yes, probably you can, but I don't recommend, because the video already has music, and you just want to keep this natural music. To be honest, I would keep this natural music. That's the way I would do it. All right. I think that that would get a lot more engagement, and also no copyright. Now you can use most musics if your video is less than 59 seconds. Don't get me wrong, you can use most popular musics, and that's why a bunch of videos are using popular musics, and they have no problem. But much rather have a video with no copyright whatsoever, because you never know. One day YouTube might change their policies about using these very popular songs. Now they allow it now for shorts, but who knows that in the future they might just come after every channel that has used these sounds, because it's just such a, to be honest, it's such a loophole. Um, you have people right now just simply taking clips of movies, adding a music to it, captions, boom, put it to YouTube, millions of views, hundreds of dollars, if not thousands, out of what? Out of nothing. Plus, they're making money from the work of a movie director and actors, and these actors don't make a thing. All right, so let's download this one. This one is also pretty cool. Let's check this out. I like it. And now we have the final one. I'm going to download it to watch it. I can close 11 Labs right now since I've done the animations. All right, so this is going to be the... Let me pause. As I said, if you want to, you can go as much as you want. If you want to do a very detailed video showcasing the evolution of the Lamborghini from beginning to the end, you can do it. Here, we did it for about 50% because we're just trying to show you the technique, and that's it. I just like it. I'm gonna repeat this. It just looks a bit slow, don't you think? It looks a bit slow for a Lambo, but it does the job. And as you can see, that trick, the environment trick, worked because it made it seem like to VO3 that, you know, that pretty much is just the same environment, only the car changes. All right, that's it. Now, in your B-roll goes all your videos. All right. Another thing is if you can actually find a way to start a channel from the EU or from the US, it would be much better because channels that are from other countries don't seem to really do as well. That's just my point. That's just a thing I have noticed is that channels that start from like countries like Germany, they kind of do better. Now, let's watch all of this together. And by the way, okay, I mean, there's still some time. I can show you how to do this in CapCut. It's not going to take any time, actually, maybe 1 minute. Just put things together in CapCut. You don't even need to add any transitions whatsoever. I'm just going to auto adjust it, to be honest. You don't need to have a pro CapCut membership. You can just have a free CapCut membership because you're not really going to use anything of note. The auto adjust, I think, is a pro option, but to be honest, you don't need it because what the auto adjust does is simply just auto adjusts the filters, which you can adjust by yourself. You don't need the auto adjust to do that for you. So if you want to adjust the filters by yourself, you can do that. It's just that the auto adjust makes it easy because you can do it with a click of a button. But in case you can't afford it, it's okay. You could just not use the auto adjust. Now, let me just click on to view this on as extra large icons. And right now, I'm just going to select everything. 4 videos. Now, it's true that we had 5 images, but remember we're using starting, ending frame, starting, ending frame. All right, so these are the videos, 24 seconds total. You can make sure the ratio is 9:16, even though it is already 9:16. You don't need to do anything there. As far as the adjustment, yeah, as I said, auto adjust, or simply go to filters down here and just start editing them yourself. If I click auto adjust, it's gonna make the colors a bit better. And let's just watch this piece of art, right? 1, 2, 3, boom. I'm gonna replay there. I'm gonna replay because there was like a lag. And again, as I said, I could keep going on and on and on and on for all the Lamborghini brands until you can make this video like a 2-minute video if that's what you wish. But I'm going to pause this video right now. Wishing you the best as always, Passive Income Gen Z, and signing out.